Today we're talking about the recent upgrades I did to my Pan America, and yes, I did them all by myself. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some upgrades that I did to my Harley Davidson Pan America. It's a 2021. Riddled. If you've been along for the ride on this channel, I have well documented my issues with my 2021 Pan America, but we've about got them all solved. And I wanted to upgrade some things, add some things, and some of them aesthetic, some of them are just absolutely what I feel after being out and doing a bunch of adventure riding that you should probably have on your Pan America or really any adventure bike. So today I just want to go over the list of things that I've added myself. Now I have to preface this, and I'm a little proud of myself because I'm not a gearhead. Yeah, I've got the toolboxes, I've got the tools, but I've never really been the wrencher myself. So this was kind of an experience. I will say, pro tip, one thing that I learned, this is the most important rule when working on cars, motorcycles, anything. Keep a clean workspace. I cannot tell you how important that is. And I tried my best, but I am disorganized at best. It's amazing that I was able to take everything off and then get it back on the bike and didn't lose anything. I did lose a few things during the process, but my wife came out, she looked, she helped me find them. But let's run down the list of some of the things that I wanted to add to my Pan America. First up, I wanted to change the clear windshield to a black windshield. Now, I did a lot of looking around online, all the usual suspects, all the places. I was finding a lot of smoked windshields, but I didn't really want smoked. I wanted black. So I finally found this black windshield. Now, about this windshield, when I ordered it from Revzilla, and I entered my exact motorcycle, year, make, model, everything. And when I got it to put on the other day, I noticed that it said for a 2022. Now, I was doing a little bit of research to find out, okay, will it work? Will it not work? I know they had done some upgrades to the windshield and it worked. So you kind of got to fudge a little bit and you kind of got to decide, okay, I'm going to use their bolts instead of the other bolts. I'm going to use these soft washers instead of these others. But the fact of the matter is if you've got a 21 and you order the windshield, and even though I thought I was getting a windshield that fit a 21, it said 2022 when it got here, it still went on, it still fit fine. So the windshield was a major upgrade that I really wanted to do. And I also felt that I could do that one myself. I thought that was gonna be unscrewing some bolts, taking the old one off, putting the old one on. But one of the things that I did notice throughout this process was that some of the other upgrades that I wanted to make to the bike would just be best if we did everything at the same time. So knowing that I wanted to put the Zumo, the Garmin Zumo XT GPS, I bought the mount, the exemeter mount, I think is what they call it. I'll put everything with links in the description below if you want to pick this stuff up. I will say that wiring this up, number one, installing the bracket, you really have to take the windshield off. You have to take the whole front of the motorcycle off if you really want to be able to get your hands in there and do what needs to be done to fit this bracket on over the existing screen, the Harley Davidson screen. You got to take the screen off. And guys, I got to be honest with you, I was a little nervous in doing all this. Again, I'm not the best in the world at this. I was worried I was going to lose screws. I was going to lose things. I felt confident I could get it apart, but I had no idea about getting it back together. And so that kind of scared me to death, but we did it. Getting the bracket on there was a job. If you do get this bracket and you put it on, one key note, and it was so funny, right as I got to this point, I got a call from one of my buddies, Andy, that we go ride our Pan Americas. And he said, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm actually putting this bracket on. He goes, man, let me tell you real quick, don't forget as you're putting the bracket on and you're marking the places where your bolts are going to go, make sure you leave clearance for the USB-C plug that comes out the side. And if he hadn't have called me at that exact moment, I would have drilled the holes in the wrong spot and I wouldn't have been able to get the USB-C plug back through the mounting hardware and get it back onto the side because of the length of the bolts that comes with the bracket itself. So make sure that you do that. If you're going to get this bracket and you're going to put it on, make sure that you mount it in such a way that you mount it high enough that you give yourself clearance to be able to put your USB-C port back through the side of the thing and screw it down. So pro tip, just make sure that you do that or you're going to be miserable in trying to do it because for whatever reason, the bolts that come with this bracket, they're about half an inch too long. So out the back, they stick out another, probably that far. They didn't need to be that long. I mean, I guess you could get an angle grinder or something and grind them off or whatever. I don't have one, so I wasn't able to do that. But make sure never before have I appreciated that old phrase, measure twice, cut once. I think for me, it's measure 3,700 times and cut once. But we got the bracket on. I was like, yeah, we got the bracket on. And again, taking the windshield off, taking that whole assembly off, taking the front cowl off, all that makes it a lot easier, I can promise you. And so then we come to how am I going to wire the Zumo XT? I watched 100 YouTube videos on what other people have done. I've seen people run accessory power all the way up and then power the Zumo XT with the USB that they've run to the front. But okay, maybe I could do that. But I really wanted it switch power, meaning that there's only power to the GPS unit when the switch is turned on. If I turn the switch off, the motorcycle goes off and the Zumo XT goes off. Just in case I forget, having constant power, I'd have run my battery down. And these Pan Americas, they have enough battery issues as it is. So I thought, no, I want to do switch power. So I called up my buddies at Boswell Harley Davidson. I ran up there. They had the part in stock. And I will put this part number somewhere on the screen, or if not, I'll have it down in the description below. This is a wiring harness that is not made for a Pan America. It is made for more the baggers and the touring bikes, but it works perfectly for the Pan America. And all you're going to do is you've got one accessory plug underneath your seat in your Pan America. It's right there in the middle. I'll take some video and I'll show you. It's right there in the middle. You just push it to unclick it, then you undo it, and then this wiring harness that you get from Harley Davidson plugs right in. What this does is this gives you 3 ends on the tail. 2 are accessory ports that you can use for more power. You can use it for heated gear, accessory power. They are all switch power operated, right? So you can have, number one, not only does it give you power to your, whatever device you want to power, but it also expands that one port into 3. So now I've got 2 more accessory ports, and then the one end that was just wires that we hardwired the Zumo XT wires straight to its switch power. Remember, black goes to black, red goes to purple on this to give it switch power. The red on the wiring harness from Harley Davidson, it goes nowhere. So just cap it off, don't even use it. You're going to go black to black, red to purple. That's going to give you your switch power. And of course, as usual, I did it wrong the first time. I wired black to black and red to red. That is not the case on this. Black to black, purple to red. And as soon as I did that, taped everything up, hit the switch power, boom. The Garmin, the Zumo XT comes on. So I was really happy about that. And everything under the seat, even with this, what you would think is a bulky wiring harness, there's places for you to tuck everything so it gets away in there and it's hidden away. It makes it easy to put the seat back on. So we did that. We wired up the Zumo XT to switch power. We ran it all the way. What I chose to do is, because even though I was on a little bit of a high of taking this motorcycle apart and putting it back together, the one thing I was not willing to do by any stretch of the imagination was take the tank off. I wasn't going to do it. So how I chose to run the wires for the Zumo XT is I ran them straight down the back of the bracket. I came up under the dampener, and then I took the plastic piece off of the tank, ran the wires up under that plastic cowl that runs all the way down the gas tank, ran them through, tucked them down in there, and then wired it into the new wiring harness. and tucked everything away nice and neat. Put the seat back on, everything fit great. The last thing that I wanted to put on was my tank bag. And I've been wanting to use this thing because I want to take out some of our cinema cameras. And there's a huge project I'm working on that I'm going to have a video coming out about that I'm super excited about. What that's going to require me to do is have to take out some of our bigger, bulkier cinema cameras. And so I need all the luggage that I can get. So this tank bag was a gift from my friends at Boswell Harley Davidson. Thank you, Bubba. I'm going to use this tank bag like you can't even imagine. So I'm going to put cameras and I'm going to put wallet and all that kind of stuff in there that just makes it easier to get to. So the tank bag almost had me pulling out my hair, to be real honest with you. You've got to make sure that it doesn't say in the directions, but you've got to make sure that when you're putting these straps on the back of the tank, that you actually put the right one in the right spot. I think it's the male goes on one side, the female goes on the other. And matter of fact, let me just look, because I don't want to tell you wrong. The female goes on the right, the male goes on the left. So make sure you do that. I did it the opposite the first time. So a lot of this is just knowing what to do, so that you're not doing things 3, 4, and 5, 6 times, 7 times, 10 times in my case. So I got it done, then I had to completely undo it, put it back on, getting it centered. The one thing that I do not like about the tank bag, one drawback to the tank bag, and that is the way that it's positioned, and I'll show you. The way that it's positioned is it covers up like a quarter of the gas tank. So I'm gonna either have to undo these 2 ends, pull it back to fill up. I tried to get it as far back as I could, but then the molds don't exactly line up with the plastic cowl and it sits funny. So maybe a little bit of adjusting. So that's one of the things, you know, as far as the tank bag is concerned. Get it on there, get it centered, strap it down, and you should be good to go. So those are the upgrades that I've done. I've also got, this is kind of a weird thing. So I ordered the Bark Busters, the black on black. Everything came, and there were no actual Bark Buster protective guards, the metal pieces. And I was like, what's going on? So I put a call in, and I didn't hear anything back. Finally, a guy calls me from RevZilla the other day, and he goes, hey, the Bark Busters for the Pan America are on back order. So instead of just keeping them on back order, we're going to cancel your order altogether, and we'll send you an email when they're back in stock. So I was really hoping to be able to do all of this at the same time and get all of these upgrades on the bike at the same time. But I've got the covers, but I don't actually have the Bark Busters. So as soon as those are back in stock, I will definitely be putting those things on. But I think I'm about to get this thing where I actually wanted it. We've changed the windshield. We've added the Zumo XT and the bracket, and we've hardwired it in to switch power. We've added the upgraded skid plate that I'm really, really happy about. We've got the side mounting hardware on. Oh, one other piece of gear that I do have that I just keep putting off and not putting on is the top case mount for the back. I might try to tackle that today. But we've added some very, in my opinion, needed upgrades for adventure riding. It doesn't matter if you have a Pan America, if you have a GS 1250, Ducati Multistrada, although I just still to this day, the Multistrada is not an adventure bike unless your adventure is not going to leave the pavement. I've owned one and I wouldn't have taken it off-road. I just wouldn't. There are a lot of people out there that will disagree, but I digress. Some of these things I think are just important to do. One of the other upgrades that we've got for the Pan America that I just haven't had time to get over there and get done is new tires. I have ordered, and they are in, I just got to go have them put on, are the Anarchy Wild tires. And I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a little bit more aggressive for off-road riding, which I'm actually riding this thing off-road more than I am riding it on-road these days. So I wanted to upgrade the tires as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to do to this bike, quite honestly. If you've got any suggestions or any ideas, don't hesitate to pop them down in the comments section below. and let me know what you think I should do to this bike. I said in a few videos ago that my feelings about the Pan America were very sus, but that has changed dramatically. I absolutely love this motorcycle. I think it is, like I've said before, the Swiss Army knife of adventure motorcycles. It will do anything and everything you want to do. You want to do 1,000 miles on the pavement, you're going to be there and you're going to be fine. You're going to be comfortable. You want to go off-roading up the tallest mountain or dirt, gravel, sand, it's going to do it. So I'm really happy that I stuck with it. And that was something that I didn't think that I was going to do for the longest time. So, and as we add even more of these upgrades, I'm loving the bike even more with everything that I do to it. I think one of the things I still need to do is I'm going to get some different foot pegs, some wider foot pegs, probably do that. And then this bike will be just about done. I mean, it'll have everything on it that the new CVO has on it. With some minor upgrades, realizing that mine's a 2021 and that one's a 2024. There's new battery, there's the quick shifter, there's new ECM, you know, completely new electrical system, which would be really, really nice. Although I have to say, since Boswell went through my bike a few weeks ago, I've had zero problems with it, like no problems with it whatsoever. It's amazing what having an excellent dealer that cares about their customers and cares about the Harley Davidson product. It's amazing what can happen when you find that. So anyway, thank you guys for being here for another video. Be sure to drop a like, thumbs up, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, I've got a really important video. I thought it was going to be before this video, but I haven't had the chance to finish it up. A really important video and something I've been working on for a long time. That's going to be coming on the channel probably a little bit later this week. And I'm ready to get back out and do some riding. It's either been snowing, raining, sleeting, ice, or below freezing here in Nashville. So it's been a little difficult to get out and get on the bike, but we're supposed to have some good weather, a little bit warmer weather. We're going to be getting out on the bike. We'll have some more of those videos as well. So thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.